guys, friend of the program, your favorite fighter's favorite fighter is back on Submission Radio. The hangman himself, Dan Hooker. Thanks for joining me once again, my friend.
Too easy, brother.
Some big things happening in your division, dude. We saw on Twitter you had a couple of names in mind, but before we get to it, I think you saw the clip. John Anik, big Dan Hooker fan. Don't hunt what you can't kill. And would love to see you with his BMF title fight with Max Holloway next. What was your reaction?
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying Dan Hooker, Max Holloway, BMF title next.
Oh, that's probably the only fight in terms of the BMF that kind of makes sense. But brother, I've been sitting on the couch so long. I've been out injured in like the fight fans know that, but in most people that tune in and watch it, you know, their mind travels very slowly, and I think it's like 8 months or something since I fought. So I feel like, and speaking with the UFC, you're gonna need to get another one in and take one of these big name guys out and one of these high ranked nut guys out before you're able to step into a big pay-per-view fight like that. So one more. Everyone's just gonna have to be a little bit more patient. And I think we got one of these guys, tough fights, but get one of these guys out of the way, and then, yeah, you got big things coming. It's going to be either the BMF title or the undisputed title if you're able to get past Oliveira or Arman.
By the way, they were saying that about Holloway going into the Poirier fight because obviously he was coming off the Topuria knockout. Were you impressed with this version of Holloway we saw against Dustin Poirier?
Didn't see it, Carl. Didn't see it. Fuck.
Dude, no, that's all right, man. Well, he looked impressive. He was able to get the win. The main thing was people were like, was he going to recover 100% after being taken out like that? It kind of seems like 155 is his division, more so than featherweight these days.
Yeah, oh man, like he's a fighter that can definitely come back from a loss like that. But yeah, you get taken out in the manner that he was taken out, people start to ask questions. I've been there myself. The old goes from the best chin in the world to his chin is gone in about 5 seconds. So it's just how people talk. So yeah, incredible. He's got big fights as well lined up for him as well. It's good to have him in the division. He adds a lot into the mix for sure.
Let me ask you this, man. I personally don't want to see it anytime too soon, but he wants this rematch with Ilia Topuria at 155. I feel like it's too soon, though, because he just fought him at featherweight, but he's trying to build for that, and that's kind of what he wants. Some people are saying maybe it's a different fight now that he doesn't have to cut as much weight. Would you want to see those guys rematch?
Probably he's got one more. I think. Yeah, like obviously Islam's going up to welterweight. Ilia will probably fight Gaethje. That leaves Holloway, and Holloway ain't gonna fight Arman. No one wants to see that. Holloway will probably fight Oliveira. Gaethje will fight for the title, and then that leaves my man Arman. That's the fight I want. That's the fight that makes sense. They've told him one more. He's turned down Gamrot, who's ranked one before me. Like let's be honest. Like the guy's a walking bag of sand, but he is a very good fighter. And now all those big name guys they've got a good excuse to not fight him. You know, like Ilia said, he's not going to fight him. The UFC says that he needs one more. And between Arman and me, there's Oliveira. They've already had that fight. Holloway, I don't think that fight would make a lot of sense for Holloway. So yeah, and I think they're gonna do Holloway Oliveira. They're gonna do Gaethje for the title. That leaves Arman in the lurch. He's stuck fighting me, brother. He's got to fight me to get back in the mix and to get a title shot. And that's always the fight I want, and not because he's a prick and I hate him, but because I genuinely think that he's he's the hardest fight, and all those name guys have like an excuse to not fight him because I think he is the best at winning fights. Like he not necessarily the most dangerous fighter. Like Oliver is very dangerous. Gaethje is very dangerous. Um, I think he's the most. I think he's the best at winning fights, and so a lot of these guys have a justifiable reason to avoid fighting him. And so that's been my approach since I first stepped foot in the UFC, is that I want to fight the best guys, and I think Arman's the best guy. So that's the fight that I want, and that's the fight that I think they're gonna make happen.
Dude, that would be a great fight. And by the way, I saw on Twitter, you had the first one. Someone wake up Charlie Olives, tell him we fight in November. Huh?
Yeah,
What made you want to put
like,
that one out
obviously,
straight
like
away?
that's like got the biggest. That's got like the biggest because he's a huge name. He's an ex champion. He did a hell of a run. He's obviously a superstar. He's a huge name. Fight like fuck. People get upset, bro. I, I'm trying to pick a. Have you ever tried to pick a fist fight before? You know, it's not. You tap him on the shoulder and ask him how his day's going. You're trying to start a fist fight here, brother. You gotta get under the skin. I thought Islam fans were crybabies, bro. Charlie Olive's fans.
You
Okay.
get some
I go,
backlash.
I
Did you
go,
get
I
some
go, I
DMs?
go in, I go in the DMs, and they're all just having the biggest. They're all having the biggest cry about it, the biggest whinge, bro. They've got the new flag as the biggest crybaby fans as the Charlie Olives, bro.
Hmm.
But I guess you're gonna obviously kind of have that when he does those ones, when he does his weight cuts with 30 guys jerking him off under a bunch of towels. So and as he's crying, it's like
What about this other one? And then side note, Arman's a bitch and he can get it to daddy's home. I love how you put out the first tweet and you're like, wait a minute. Let me just follow it up with one more just in case.
yeah. The Arman one's the Arman fights the that was that was because of our last discussion. He said, and on a side note, and he took shots at me out of nowhere. Bro, I'm the only one that's gonna fight you, you dumb fuck. Like I don't know what he's. I'm not. That's the fight, bro. I'm the only one that's gonna step up and fight the guy. Like
Hmm.
who else is gonna fight the guy? Yeah, and it's I just like the sound of that New York card. Obviously, it would have been cool to fight in Perth and to go back to Perth and to like headline with Arman in Perth, but it would have been just like that's 8 weeks. New York 16 weeks. Would have been a bit soon. Would have been a bit of a rush for the hand. To be good and ready by then, and then. But I still was gonna do it just because I wanted to do it for the fans and do it for the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have rushed back, and I would have fought early, and I would have fought when the hand wasn't ready, and I would have fought still kind of recovering from that injury, and then I went over to watch Kai's fight, and then, bro, they tried to get me up a bed at 7:30 in the morning. The UFC booked me for some shit, which is 3 in the morning. They wanted me to get out of bed at like 3 in the morning New Zealand time. I didn't even go out. I had like an early night, but well, like I'm not getting out of bed at 3 in the morning to do just about anything, bro. And then because I didn't start, I slept in and I didn't go to the UFC thing. They canceled my tickets to the to Kai's fight, and then so it's like I'm gonna rush back and fight injured for a company that's gonna cancel my tickets to the event when I've traveled all the way to Las Vegas. It's like I would have fought injured, but then someone at a desk is crossed my name off a list. It's like you work in the office, brother. I work in the you think there would be a bit more respect there for guys that who literally give their life. Like, bro, I the amount of blood, sweat, and tears I poured into putting shows on for that company, and then yeah, if I thought there would have been a bit more respect there, but there's not, which is cool. business is business. We can fight on my terms, and you obviously wanted me to fight in Perth, but we can fight on my terms. You're not gonna show me any respect, and I don't feel like I'm obligated to break my back for that. For I'm not gonna break my back for a company that doesn't respect me.
You know what, though? I think the silver lining is I'd love to see you have the proper time to get ready for Arman, right? Like you
Yeah,
said it yourself.
yeah.
He's probably one of the tougher fights in the division. Like I'd love to see you at
He-
100%, especially going
he's
off
the
that
best.
handbrake.
Yeah, he's the best at winning fights for sure. For sure.
Mm,
Obviously, like Charlie Olives is very dangerous once he hits the mat, and he's like a real pressure striker. Like he is dangerous in those early exchanges, and then as the fight goes on, he's obviously very dangerous with his jiu-jitsu, and then when it hits the mat. But Arman's very good at controlling guys. He's very quite similar to Gamrot, like an orthodox version of Gamrot. So he's a very good fighter. He's a very good fighter. Take the man out of it, because obviously when you're preparing for a fight, like all of that shit's irrelevant. At the end of the day, I never get emotional. I never get emotional about any kind of fight when there's no room for emotions in fighting. I've gone through every single emotion you could possibly experience in a fist fight: angry, sad, happy, excited, and not a single one has helped me a shred in a fist fight. It's the clear mind that gets the job done. At the end of the day,
mm. And I know that like people in the comment section sometimes are like, "Oh, why is Dan saying this about Arman?" But I think the notable thing here is like you actually want to fight the best guy in the division, which is a rarity because a lot of people will talk shit about someone, but then they'll never fight him. Like we've seen it so many times now in MMA over the last year. You're actually calling for the hardest fight. Like you could be calling
who
for something
who
else.
else has called out Arman? Name a single fighter like that makes sense. What, Gamrot? He's coming off a loss. You know what I mean? Um, I can understand why like that's a dangerous fight from Arman. Didn't he lose to him?
Yeah, they fought. Yep.
Yeah, I think Arman's already lost to him, so he's going to give him that rematch coming off a loss, and then he doesn't really get shit from it. Like he beats Gamrot, and then he still's not going to get a title shot. Like Gamrot beats me, I mean, Arman beats me, and he's back in the mix for a title shot. So I can understand why he didn't take the Gamrot fight, but I'm the only guy that makes sense that's called his name. Like the champion said that he's not going to fight him. No one else has spoken his name. He's the Voldemort of the lightweight division. No one wants to call the guy out because he's a prick too. Because he's just gonna whine and not say anything witty. He's no fun. He's like arguing with a blank wall. Fuck.
Yeah, I can't
He's not got
imagine
me
what.
once. He's not got me once. He's not got under my skin once. Like, oh, call me a bitch. Oh. Cry me a
Yeah,
river.
I can't imagine that fight week. Do kind of a dumb question, but I want to know because he's a guy that
I've
knows how
already
to
got
win
plans.
fights.
I've already
No,
got.
well, do you prefer 3 or 5 rounds? You always want the 3 rounds over five, but you know, with a guy that's sneaky and can steal rounds, would you prefer a 5 round so you had those extra couple of rounds to play out
Oh,
your game plan, or do you think like 3 and you just keep it to the game plan like you did with Gamrot and get it done?
I don't really give a shit. Either.
Mm.
If it's on
Same money, I guess, but then you get a couple extra rounds to just in case, you know?
20 grand for an extra 20 minutes, 20 grand for an extra 10 minutes is the going rate. It's like in what world? I'm I'm a logical thinker. In what world
Mm-hmm.
do I get $500,000 for 15 minutes, and then I get $500,000 in 20 grand for half an hour? It's like, what you're gonna, mate? When I used to work at the bloody kitchen factory, do you think I did an 8 hour day and got paid, a couple of $100, and then I'm gonna do twice as much work and get a fraction more money. It's like, it just doesn't make sense to me, brother.
Hmm.
Oh, but for the experience, shove it up your fucking ass, bro. I'm not going to work. I'm not going to work for twice as long. If you want me to go to for work for twice as long, pay me twice as much. That's how that works, brother. Time and a half. If I did extra hours at the kitchen factory, I got time and a half.
Kitchen factory sorting everyone out. Hey, the other person, if it doesn't end up being Arman, the other person people are talking about is Paddy Pimblett for you. How would you feel if you landed with Paddy Pimblett? If Arman doesn't work out, Charles goes to Holloway, Gaethje fights Topuria, that leaves Paddy Pimblett. He's a bit lower in the rankings, but I guess like hype-wise, he's up there. The only thing is you don't get as much, right? If you beat him, it's not like beating Arman. Still a big fight. Big fight in New York.
Big fight. Yeah, big fight in New York. Or I didn't even think about him.
He was supposed to, people thought he was going to fight for the belt. Then you kind of explained, look, it's got to be Gaethje from all the business side of things.
Oh, nah, but like the UFC's smart as fuck, bro. Like they never paint themselves into a situation where there's a clear number one contender that has to fight for the belt next. Because if they're ever in that situation, then negotiations obviously become very difficult for them. If the fans are 100% locked and expecting and there's only one guy that makes sense for the title, you think when they sit down and negotiate, the UFC's in a strong position. But now they've got Gaethje that they can have. They got Arman that still they've said doesn't, but he does still make sense for the title. Paddy Pimblett could step up, and because he's got fucking beef coming out of his ears, so they always have in a title fight situation 3 guys that could justify title shots. Because then if they have one guy, they go to the first guy, he starts playing hardball, then they can go to the second guy, they can go to the third guy, then they can go back to the first guy. Like, at the end of the day, it's business, and the fight that makes the most dollars makes the most sense for the UFC. So yeah, they're in a strong position in the lightweight division at the moment, where they got 3 different guys that could justify a title shot. Speaking, like, Paddy obviously brings a lot to the table in terms of hype, but if you're talking about North American pay-per-views, which is the only place where pay-per-views matter in the world, it would make sense to have a North American champion, and that would be Justin Gaethje, brother. You don't get pay-per-views, you don't get much pay-per-view money for the UK, or outside of the world. So if the UFC could pick, I'd say that they want a North American champion. So I feel like Gaethje makes the most money for the company. So that's why that's the only reason why I'm thinking that Gaethje is probably going to be the guy that fights for the title next.
Do you actually think Gaethje, who do you think wins that between him and Topuria? Do you think Topuria still beats him?
Fuck, how long's a piece of string, brother?
It just depends what kind of Gaethje comes in, maybe, and what kind of, he might just, if he's just moving forward, I don't know. I keep thinking there is a chance that he could catch Topuria if he comes in with the right game plan, right?
Yeah. I think Gaethje's got more of a shot at beating him than Paddy does, but yeah, I want to fight Arman because he's the best guy. I didn't really think about Paddy.
Do you rate Paddy? What do you reckon of his skills? What do you reckon of what we saw again? I don't know. You probably haven't seen it yet, but yeah.
Nah. No, he did
looked
well.
better against Michael Chandler.
Yeah. He looked better than he did. He keeps looking better than he looks before. But it's like he never really looked that good in the. I don't want to. Yeah, no, I don't think the guy's that good. But and then it brings out the best of me when I fight an actual good fighter. Like, when they give me someone that I think I can beat, or I think someone's shit, then I fight shit. Like, my mind subconsciously relaxes because I think they're shit, and then I do shit, and then they beat me. It's like, but when I fight a guy when I fight a guy that I think can kick my ass, then I actually like my subconscious goes, "Oh shit, we might get our ass kicked." Then I wake up, so I like actually end up fighting really well. So I'd rather just fight the best guy, so I actually perform well.
Mm. Well, you need like that motivation to get out of bed and like like. Do you still love going to the gym at like early in the morning and hitting the runs and getting
Yeah,
on
it's been
diet and doing all that? Do you
yeah,
still
it's
love it
been
or?
yeah, it's come back. The fire always comes back. Oh, yeah. Obviously, it's hard. Not being able to. Yeah, like I like to fight. I like to compete, and then obviously you take that away. The motivation to get in the gym and train like I should be training is gonna wane as well. But the hand is feeling good. I'm feeling fit. I've been doing a lot of running lately. Just building that aerobic base back in the gym. Um, So I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I can't wait. I can't wait to fight Arman in New York. I've already set my mind to something, bro. And when I set my mind to something, you become a very hard person to stop.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So you mentioned it, like the hands feeling better. You're able to get in there and start training,
Yeah,
almost
I'm
back to
sparring.
100% and stuff.
Yeah, I'm sparring. I was sparring this morning. I was
Are you
punching
still
away
doing the
with
thing
it.
with a hand though, where it's like Dan's, like this is the hand we're using? Or are you doing both hands and you're back
No,
into
no, I was
100%?
punching with both hands, like fine. Like, but he dropped someone with a body shot this morning with my left hand. So like, it's
Hey,
yeah, we're good as gold, brother.
awesome, dude. All right, so the build up starts now. It's going to be New York. It's going to be Dan Hooker and Arman. It's going to be the big fight in the co-main event. We don't need to do 5 rounds because we're only getting an extra 20 grand. So let's keep it to 3. And let's see these guys mix it up in November. I reckon that's going to be one of the kind of hottest, most exciting fights the UFC can make right now. It's out of the title picture. So I actually
Yeah,
reckon if you do like Holloway and Oliveira, I think more people will be interested. I think a lot of people would be just as interested, if not more interested, to see you and Armin mix it up. I think it's a hot fight.
I think it's a hot fight. Like we'll bite back at each other, like more so than seeing, like Oliveira and Arman are gonna rematch again. Like Holloway and Oliveira is something fresh and something new. They could
Mm.
probably do that for the BMF. Um, like that's a big fight. Paddy's not gonna fight Arman. Yeah, Paddy could just fucking wait his turn. Like, see, like that's what I was
I
saying
think I
about.
think they wanted to give
That's
him
a
Gaethje or something, right?
Yeah, but Gagey's not gonna fight him neither. Like, I can't even be fuck fighting him. Like,
Yeah.
and I've been sitting on the couch. Like, why would Gagey fight him? Like, Gagey's got his win now. He was coming off a big KO loss, just like Holloway was coming off a big KO loss. Um, he's back on a win streak. He's back in a good position. Like, he's back in a good position. Like, I got the fight with Gagey because he was in a bad position. That's why me and him were originally matched, and he was going to take that risk and fight down and give me a shot at him. Like, to for a guy like Gaethje, who's like probably the biggest name in the division, now the highlight and would sell the most pay-per-views for the company, for him to fight down again, unless the UFC really broke him off a check. I heard they've been trying to make that fight already, and it's just not coming together. But yeah, I'd fight Paddy, I'd fight Oliveira, but I want the Armand fight. That's the fight that I want.
Well, there it is. You and Armin, November, Madison Square Garden. That's the fight the fans want to see. Let's make it happen. Guys, there he is, Dan Hooker. He's back in action, hopefully in November. Make sure to give him a follow, and let's ask the UFC to get these guys together. It's going to be an exciting fight. Dan, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for joining me here on Submission Radio.
Sounds good, brother.